Hare Krishna, and we are continuing the book called Raja Vidya, the King of Knowledge, by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, page number 5. The subject matter of the 9th chapter is Raja Vidya. Raja means king and Vidya means knowledge. In ordinary life, we find one person king in one subject and another in another subject. This knowledge, however, is sovereign over all others, and all other knowledge is subject or relative to it. The word Raja Guhyam indicates that this sovereign knowledge is very confidential, and the word Pavitram means that it is very pure. This knowledge is also Uttamam. Ud means transcend and Tama means darkness. And that knowledge which surpasses this world and knowledge of this world is called Uttamam. It is the knowledge of light, and darkness has to be separated from it. If one follows this path of knowledge, he will personally understand how far he has progressed down the path of perfection. Pratyaksha-vagamam dharmyam. Susukham kartum indicates that this knowledge is very happy and joyful to execute. And avyayam indicates that this knowledge is permanent. We may work in this material world for education or riches, but these things are not avyayam. For as long as this body is finished, everything else is also finished. For as soon as this body is finished, everything else is also finished. With death, our education, advanced degrees, bank balances, family, everything, all are finished. Whatever we're doing in this material world is not eternal. However, this knowledge is not like that. Nehabhikrama nashosti pratyavayo navidyate svalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Unquote Bhagavad Gita 2.40. Knowledge in Krishna consciousness is so perfect that if one performs work in Krishna consciousness and yet does not attain perfection, in his next life he takes up from wherever he left off. In other words, actions performed in Krishna consciousness are durable. On the other hand, material achievements, because they pertain to the body, are vanquished at death. Knowledge that pertains to designations does not endure. I'm thinking that I am a man, or I am a woman, an American or Indian, a Christian or Hindu. These are all designations pertaining to the body, and when the body is finished, they will also be finished. We are actually spirit, and therefore our spiritual activities will go with us wherever we go. Shri Krishna indicates that this king of knowledge is also happily performed. We can easily see that activities in Krishna consciousness are joyfully done. There is chanting and dancing, eating prasadam, food that has been offered to Krishna, and discussing Bhagavad Gita. These are main processes. There are no stringent rules and regulations that we have to sit so straight for so long, or to do so many gymnastics, or control our breath. No, the process is very easy and happily done. Everyone wants to dance, to sing, to eat, and to hear the truth. This process is truly susukham, very happy. In the material world, there are so many gradations of education. Some people never finish grammar school or high school, whereas others go on and receive a university education, a BA, MA, PhD, and so on. But what is this Raja Vidya, the king of education, the summum bonum of knowledge? It is this Krishna consciousness. Real knowledge is understanding what I am. Unless we come to the point of understanding what we are, we cannot attain real knowledge. When Sanatana Goswami left his government post and came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time, he asked the Lord, "What is education?" Although Sanatana Goswami knew a number of languages, including Sanskrit, he still inquired about real education. "The general populace calls me highly educated," Sanatana Goswami said. He told the Lord, "And I am such a fool that I actually believe them." The Lord replied, "Why should you not think you're well educated? You're a great scholar in Sanskrit and Persian." "That may be," Sanatana Goswami said, "but I do not know what I am." He then went on to tell the Lord, "I do not wish to suffer, but these material miseries are forced upon me. I neither know where I've come from, nor where I'm going, but people call me educated. When they call me a great scholar, I am satisfied, but in truth, I am such a great fool that I know not what I am." Sanatana Goswami was actually speaking for all of us, for this is our present situation. We may be proud of our academic education, but if asked what we are, we're not able to say. Everyone is under the conception that this body is the self, but we learn from Vedic sources that this is not so. Only after realizing that we are not these bodies can we enter into real knowledge and understand what we actually are. This, then, is the beginning of knowledge. Raja Vidya may be further defined as not only knowing what one is, but acting accordingly. If we do not know who we are, how can our activities be proper? If we are mistaken about our identity, we will also be mistaken about our activities. Simply knowing that we are not these material bodies is not sufficient. We must act according to the conviction that we are spiritual. Action based on this knowledge, spiritual activity, is work in Krishna consciousness. This kind of knowledge may not seem to be so easily attainable, but it is made very easy by the mercy of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who made this knowledge easily available through the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided the living entities into two major categories: those that are moving and those that are not moving. Trees, grass, plants, stones do not move because they do not have sufficiently developed consciousness. The consciousness is there, but is covered. If a living being does not understand his position, he is stone-like, although dwelling in a human body. The living entities, birds, reptiles, animals, insects, human beings, demigods, etc., number over 8 million species. And of these, a very small number are human beings. Lord Chaitanya further points that out of 400,000 species of human beings, some are civilized. And out of many civilized persons, there are only a few who are devoted to the scriptures. In the present day, most people claim to be devoted to some religion: Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, etc. But in fact, they do not really believe in scriptures. Those who do believe in scriptures are, by and large, attached to pious philanthropic activities. They believe that religion means yagya, sacrifice, dana, charity, and tapas, penance. One who engages in tapasya undertakes voluntarily very rigid regulations, such as brahmachari students, celibates, or sannyasis, renounced order, undertake. Charity means voluntarily giving away one's material possessions. In the present age, there is no sacrifice, but from historical literatures like the Mahabharata, we get information that kings performed sacrifices by distributing rubies, gold, and silver. Yagya was primarily for kings, and charity on a much smaller scale was meant for householders. Those who actually believed in scriptures usually adopted some of these principles. But generally, in this age, people simply say that they belong to a religion, but in actuality do nothing. Out of millions of such people, a very small number actually perform charity, sacrifice, and penance. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further points out that out of millions who perform such religious principles all over the universe, only a few attain perfect knowledge and understand what they are. Just knowing I am not this body, but I am spirit soul is not sufficient. We have to escape this entanglement of material nature. This is called mukti, or liberation. Out of many thousands of persons who are in self-knowledge as to what and who they are, only one or two may be actually liberated. And out of so many thousands who are liberated, only one or two may understand who and what Krishna is. So understanding Krishna is not such an easy job. Thus, in this age of Kali, an age characterized by ignorance and chaos, liberation is out of the reach of practically everyone. One has to go through the whole ordeal of becoming civilized, then religious, then one has to perform charities and sacrifice and come to the platform of knowledge, then to the stage of liberation, and finally after liberation to the understanding of what Krishna is. This process is also indicated in Bhagavad Gita. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Unquote Bhagavad Gita 18.54. These are the signs of liberation. The first symptom of one who is liberated is that he's very happy. It is not possible to find him morose, nor does he have any anxiety. He never frets, "This thing I don't have. Oh, I must secure this thing. Oh, this bill I have to pay. I have to go there. I have to go here." One who is liberated has no anxieties at all. He may be the poorest man in the world, but he neither laments nor thinks that he is poor. Why should he think that he is poor? When we think that we are these material bodies and that we have possessions to go with them, then we think that we are poor or rich. But one who is liberated from the material conception of life has nothing to do with possessions or lack of possessions. I have nothing to lose and I have nothing to gain, he thinks. I'm completely separate from all of this. Nor does he see anyone else as rich or poor, educated or uneducated, beautiful or ugly, etc. He does not see any material dualities, for his vision is completely on the spiritual platform, and he sees that every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. Thus, seeing all entities in their true identity, he tries to take them back to Krishna consciousness. Jai. We're going to stop here because we really need to stop here today, but don't be discouraged, because like in the next paragraph, Srila Prabhupada will explain that yes, it may not be very easy in this age of Kali because of the situation with the age of Kali, but out of the causeless mercy of the Lord, like the Lord himself came and gave us the simplest and easiest, most practical, most efficient way to actually achieve perfection of life, and we're going to read that tomorrow. And one more thing I wanted to mention is that, this is so important right now for us to read. Like this book, this entire book, this is like on the thicker side. This book is about 100 pages. So we will see how I recently read that like many psychotherapists, psychologists, they also begin, to explain you're not this body, you're not your mind, because this is actually the key, to solve all of these psychological issues. But they will never get, or not that they will never get, but if you don't actually understand who you are, if you don't understand what you're meant to do, if you don't understand Krishna, then you are not this body. It won't make sense in its entirety. So what we now read, how like completely liberated person, he sees everyone with the spiritual vision. It's not like he loses the material vision, but he actually sees things as they are. He sees that we are spirit souls, we have these coverings, but we are spirit souls in essence. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so let us continue tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and yes, we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.